2011. Technology started to more so reform, with there being new iPhones and new Samsungs being created. The gaming industry also had a big impact with being the year of sequels, which included Little Big Planet 2, Modern Warfare 3, Uncharted 3, Rayman Origins, and of course, Assassin's Creed Revelations. And the fans were curious, and they were wondering, why did Desmond kill Lucy? Who is Subject 16? And where will Ezio take his journey next? Considering it is his and Altair's final bout. The story of Assassin's Creed Revelations is set in the city of Constantinople after Ezio escaped Masyaf to discover the secrets of Altair by gaining the precursor relic discs. And we're being greeted with a few new characters named Yusuf and Sophia, who become recurring throughout the story. Okay, so right off the bat, you get Ezio rediscovering Masyaf that played a big factor in the first game, and I think it's super cool that we got to revisit where it all started, where we got to see Altair and the assassins for the first time, and the fact that we got to see Ezio escape it 100 years later is just so damn cool. The city of Constantinople as well really changes up things, with the game as well by the tone to be calm, with the game going back to AC1's theme of being a spy espionage and mystery. Furthermore, Desmond gets trapped in the Animus where Subject 16, who is finally revealed as Clay, and Clay explains to Desmond that in order to get out of the mysterious Animus realm, you as Ezio need to obtain the precursor relics and divide himself from Desmond and Altair's consciousness, so then they won't result into a single consciousness. I felt that this part of the plot was confusing, but luckily this game focused more on Ezio and Altair rather than it being focused on Desmond, which were the gripes that I found in the previous game, since Desmond as the main protagonist can kinda get wooden at times. Ezio then becomes taught by Yusuf, and they talk about the state of Constantinople and how restricted it's become with the Order of Templars grown. And Yusuf gives Ezio the hook blade and smokewell abilities for Ezio's assassin's journey. It's a really cool factor that the devs put in to show Ezio has grown to this aged and more wise character. And Ezio begins to mentor upcoming assassins to continue his journey. The main antagonist for this game is Ahmed, who Ezio has to stop before he can get all the precursor discs. And there's also a part in the game where Ezio has to dress up as this old style guitar playing the lute to assassinate someone incognito. What's cool about this as well is Ezio mentions some of the previous plot points that happened in the last few games. The game's story, to be more specific, is focused on Ezio going into tombs, finding Altair's memories, rather than assassinating the 9 acquired targets that the Assassin's Creed franchise is familiar of. After Ezio kills the Byzantine, Ahmet dies, he goes and retrieves the discs, and finally gets to meet Altair, which is one of the most riveting scenes I have ever seen in an Assassin's Creed game. Desmond talks to the Isu, game ends. As I said before, Revelations has a really cool story. In a gameplay standard, when there's a new AC game, the city Constantinople is vibrant and warm. In conjunction, AC Revelations does deliver on a few things, gameplay-wise, despite using the same engine as Brotherhood, and that's not a bad thing, considering that it's more additional rather than it replacing the different systems with something else. A few of the gameplay functions that I felt was unnecessary, although, were the parachute and the hook blade. The parachute was only useful for you when you needed to jump to a ledge of a building, or when the story/game needed you to assassinate Templars on horsebacks. But the problem is, alternatively, you could do things without the parachute. More simplistically, I mean, you could just jump onto hay bales and attack the Templars. The Hookblade 2, it's a cool addition, but holds some advantages and some disadvantages to the gameplay, because it only gave me a tiny boost jump to the next ledge when climbing the next building. It just felt unnecessary, and when you jump off a building trying to grab another ledge, the hook blades do not reach the distance. Creating your bomb 2 was a nice touch, but it's gross making Lamblood as one of the ingredients. There's even a few moments where you could ride carriages and bump into people when using the parachute. Another mode in the game that feels unnecessary as well is the tower defense, because it's slow and can get very repetitive at times. Visually, AC Revelations looks a bit more impressive than Brotherhood. You could also do these extra attacks and you could still kick people in the nuts, which is a nice touch. And as I said in Revelations, I love doing that and it's great, and you could just go anywhere, and you could, with the bombs as well, you could just edit them out. Overall, the gameplay is solid, but it's still kind of the same as Brotherhood. Ezio. Ezio this time is more wiser, mature, and aged. His character develops throughout this game as he discovers the memories of Altair, while simultaneously questioning about the Creed and having to stick by their morals of hiding in plain sight, and no compromising with the Brotherhood. Fighting for his life, facing different foes while discovering secrets about the ancient orders, he just feels run down, and he almost becomes a mentor for Yusuf and Sophia. Altair. I'm really glad that the developers brought back Altair, and I enjoyed the fact that they made him a crucial point for bringing this trilogy or quadrilogy full circle. And it was cool how we got to see the outcome of Assassin's Creed 1's story, with how the post-death previous antagonist, Al-Mualim, being an epilogue and prologue for Altair's story, as well as seeing Altair's rivalry evolved with his assassin co-worker, Abbas. As well as seeing how that ends out with Altair giving away the apple for Ezio to retrieve at the end of the story. I really enjoyed Altair's character, and I thought it was a nice cherry on top for the story. Desmond, the OG, the one who started this whole thing. It's a really interesting concept of seeing Desmond in the Animus realm. He's confused and traumatized that he could be stuck in the Animus realm forever, and I really like that they put in Desmond's story arc by rising the stakes for Desmond, from being a bartender to being someone who's embraced his assassin's ancestry. There's really something about Assassin's Creed Revelations that helps distinct itself from other Assassin's Creed games. However, the problem is it can get repetitive at times. However, it does give Ezio and Altair a good send-off. I give Assassin's Creed Revelations a 7 out of 10. Well, I guess it doesn't matter anymore. Yeah.